katika channel yetu ya Mido Simba. Ili uwe wa kwanza kutazama video zetu, tafadhali bonyeza subscribe button nyekundu chini ya video hii. Kisha bonyeza alama ya kengele itakayokuja. Asante.
Anaitwa Hamisa Mobetto, ukipenda unaweza kumuita Madam Hero. Naweza kusema Hamisa Mobetto ni moja kati ya maua ambayo yanaipendezesha sana Afrika Mashariki yetu. Ni moja kati ya ua ambalo linadecorate sana East Africa yetu. Mtu kutoka nje akija hapa Afrika Mashariki, akija Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi au wapi, alafu akamuona mrembo kama Hamisa Mobetto, basi lazima avurugwe, kozi amekamilika kila idara. Ana rangi nzuri, ana sura nzuri, ana umbo nzuri, mashallah, Mwenyezi Mungu akamjalia. Siku ya leo alikuwa anafanya mahojiano au mazungumzo na CEO wa vinywaji vya Bel-Air, Bumbu na vinginevyo. Anaitwa Brit Berish, hilo ndo jina lake. So alikuwa akifanya mazungumzo na CEO huyo na amezungumza mambo mengi sana. Walikuwa Insta live kule, na katika kupita pita nikaona comment ya Rick Ross, anatumia Rich Forever kule kwenye mtandao wa Instagram. Mara ya kwanza kabisa nikaona ya kwake, anasema we love you Misa. No, alisema we love Misa too, kwamba tunampenda Hamisa pia. Kumbuka Rick Ross waga pia ni moja kati ya mapromoters wakubwa sana wa Bel-Air. I don't know kama ana share, tafuatilia vizuri nijue kama ana share au la, lakini mmoja kati ya mapromoters wakubwa sana wa hicho kinywaji cha Bel-Air. Mbali na hiyo kusema kwamba we love Misa too, kuna nyingine akaja akasema kwamba I support you Misa. Baada ya Misa, Hamisa Mobetto kumjibu akasema kwamba I support you too Misa. So unaweza kuona kwa namna gani Rick Ross alikuwa anazengea baada ya kumuona mtoto fulani hivi na chocolate color, amezoea kuona vanilla, kidogo akawa confused na kuendelea kubaki kwenye ile Insta live ya mazungumzo hayo kati ya Brit Berish pamoja na Hamisa Mobetto. Hamisa ni mwanamuziki kutokea hapa nchini Tanzania, lakini pia ni mfanyabiashara, mjasiriamali, ni CEO wa kampuni ya Mobetto Stylish. So hivyo ndo vitu ambavyo vinampatia ugali au mkate wake wa kila siku, lakini mbali na hilo pia ni brand ambassador wa makampuni mbalimbali. Naomba nikuwekea hapa mazungumzo yake pamoja na CEO huyo, tumsikilize hapa Hamisa Mobetto alichokizungumza. Lakini moja kati ya vitu ambavyo amevizungumza kuhusiana na muziki wake ni kwamba anatamani sana kufanya collabo na Rick Ross, rapper huyu kutoka huko nchini Marekani, Breezy, Chris Brown, Wizkid, Davido na wasanii wengine wakali kutokea hapa barani Afrika na nje ya bara la Afrika. Kitu ambacho kimewashangaza watu wengi zaidi ni baada ya kuona Hamisa Mobetto amemwaga ngeli iliyoshiba. Hii sisi wataalamu wa mambo waga tunaita ungenge, hatuiti ngeli. Alikuwa na flow kama mtu wa Marekani vile, kumbe ni mbongo tu hapa, na bongo hapa Kiingereza kilikuja na miguu sio na meli. Tazama hapa mwanzo mpaka mwisho, usikilize Hamisa Mobetto alivyokuwa anafunguka kwa confidence kubwa, alafu ni tarudi. Majina yangu naitwa Mido Simba.
How are you?
Hi, what's up? I'm alright. How are you?
I'm listening to Madam Hero. I want to know how you came up with the title.
I was actually very excited to hear you listen to it. I came up with the title because I believe all women are heroes, especially when it comes when it starts from having kids to raise a family to work hard. So I believe all women are heroes. So yeah, and I feel like sometimes, especially here, they don't get appreciated that much. That's why.
Well, I love it. Ask me who my hero is.
Who is your hero?
My hero is my mother. She's
beautiful.
She's my hero. She's my hero. I would not be having this interview with you. I would not get to do all the great things I'm able to do. I tell people all the time, you need to find people who big you up, who are in your corner, who support you. And that lady has been in my corner, cheering me on, crying. She'd sell her rings for me. She'd do anything for me. She's my hero. So I completely agree with you.
That's sweet. That's sweet. I can't wait for my kids to grow up and actually see me as their hero. They better do.
There'll be stages. How's that? There'll be stages.
Definitely.
Hamisa, I get to do this, which is called Self-Made. I get to talk to artists and entertainers, musicians, business people, sports, all over the world. I started this called Self-Made because I love hearing, not the success, I like hearing the struggle because that's what motivates me. What does self-made mean to you?
For me, basically, it means when one individual actually works so hard and achieve a lot of all of their goals and on their own. I think that's what it means to me. When a person works so hard to achieve everything that they want in life and they actually get it, they get to their goals. I think that's it.
Do you think, because everyone has a different answer, do you think you've achieved your goals?
Yeah, I think 2 years, like 2 years back is when I actually got everything I've ever wanted in life. You know, growing up, you have your own goals. You have this place in life where you want to go. And not that I don't want more, not that now I'm actually aiming for more. But oh my gosh, what I actually wanted at that time, I actually got it. And I felt so happy because I worked so hard. So I believe like 2 years back, I got everything that I've ever wanted in life. Although now I want more. Although now I'm working so hard to achieve more. But I'm actually happy that Rick Ross has commented something. Hi! So
I love you, Ross.
So yeah.
So what were those goals 2 years ago? What happened?
I wanted my own. They're not big of a deal. I wanted to have more than two businesses. I wanted to be a brand ambassador for a couple of companies. I wanted my own plot of a house, a big plot. I wanted to have at least 2 cars. So I got it. Like I had everything that I wanted 2 years back, and that's when I was like 24, because I'm turning 27 this December. So I was happy. For me, it was a big deal.
Did you, when it happened, did you appreciate it?
I did. Oh, I cried because I remember I cried on my birthday. I cried so hard because I went through some difficulties a few years back. So I couldn't believe I made it. I couldn't believe I was actually alive. I was actually happy. I actually succeeded in everything that I wanted. I was so happy. I was so grateful to God. I was like, thank you, God. It's because of you I'm here. And my mom has been my #1 supporter from the beginning.
Nice.
So yeah, when I cried, she was actually with me. So I was so happy.
So I'll give you my struggles, which I love to say because I think transparency helps people. They make you realize, boy, it wasn't easy. But for me, you know, when I started, I was lost for 30 years. I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do. That's a struggle. It's hard. You don't know. And then for me, it was things like my first 6 years of doing this business was just terrible. Like it was just, I didn't trust myself, and I lost money, and I lost my house, but it's been amazing ever since. But it's great. So for you, like, you don't have to, like, what does struggles mean? Like, what did you think, like, when you think back, what did you have to go through to get to that moment 2 years ago?
So for me, I remember that was like 6 years ago. I was like 19 going to 20 years. I got pregnant. I was actually in a mission of opening my own business, like my first business. And in the process, I ended up getting pregnant for my first child. Her name is Fantasy. So, and then I had to stop everything. And then I actually wished, I was actually hoping a happily ever after with her father. And then we broke up right after I had my baby. So we broke up, and then I had to start from the start. Mind you, I was actually like planning. I had my life together. I had everything that I wanted together in like sets, and then all of a sudden everything collapsed, and then you have to start from the beginning. So I think that was so hard for me. And then I was like, okay. But then I think that I never gave up, even for a second. And I remember when I started. So apparently for me, I used to think maybe I have a bad luck or something, because everything that I tried, like I remember my modeling days, when I started modeling, people were saying, "Oh my God, she's fat. Oh, she has big hips. She has big thighs. Models are supposed to be skinny." But then I was like, you could separate me from all other models. I had something unique inside of me, and I think that's something that made me stand out. So I believe I was never made to fit in. So I worked hard, and then my modeling days, I did good. After that, I started my own businesses. And then when I wanted to work with companies in terms of being a brand ambassador, a lot of companies didn't believe in me. And then I was like, why? Because I think that was back then when my country usually didn't take like brand ambassadors from our country. Like even the models, a lot of models for products and everything were from other countries.
From other countries, yep.
Yeah. So then I was like, when are these people actually going to use people like me, people who are here? And then it actually got to that point, and I was like, yay. So the first company I worked with is a hair company. It's called Prima Afro. I'm still with them. This has been the 3rd year since I started working with them. So when they believed in me, all other companies followed, and I'm like, people are actually finally realizing me, seeing me for who I am, for the hard work that I have. You know, I believe sometimes when people see you on the ground, they don't see the struggle.
Correct.
Especially if you're a woman, they just see this pretty face, a Barbie doll who's just posing and smiling. They don't know that you work 24 hours, you work so hard, and you just don't post your struggles, because I believe nobody cares about your struggle until you make it.
Yep.
Because now, Brett, you are able to tell your story because you have made it.
Correct.
Yeah, you are successful, but when you're starting, even if you tell anybody, nobody cares.
Correct.
Because people care more about the results. They don't care about your struggles. Yeah.
Do you use the people who say no when you can't do it and you don't look right? Is that a chip on your shoulder? Do you use that?
Do I what?
Do you use that as motivation when people say no, you can't do it?
I did that back. I did back then. I really did, especially as a model. I look good in everything I wear, so why do I have to be so skinny?
Yeah.
So the moment I started catwalking, I started walking on that on the stages and everything, and on the fashion shows. Everything was just beautiful, and everybody was so happy. So when they saw people cheering for me back then, everybody was just so happy, and everybody said, "Oh, she's good, she's good." I was like, "Okay, at least now you can see." Yeah.
With your you have a massive audience, huge audience that follow you.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first time someone recognized you?
Like in the streets?
In the streets. Just they knew who you were.
I actually do, and it's still for me, because I'm not, like, I don't talk much in person. A lot of people here think I'm so quiet, and so the first time, for me, sometimes I walk down the streets, I walk around, I forget that I'm famous here, and then boom, somebody's like notice me, and I'm like, oh, here we are back. And I still do not do with the fans. Like, still today, if I meet a fan who is crying or so happy to see me, I still don't know what to do. It's still, for me, it's like, oh my gosh, why is this person crying? And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I started apologizing for something that I didn't do, and there's nothing wrong with it. But yeah, I hope one day I'll actually get used to it. Yeah.
Can you appreciate why your fans like you? Meaning, like, you're inspiring other girls. You're inspiring women. You're giving them hope. You're giving them, whether it's a single mom or whether it's starting a business or whether it's going in a different direction like music. Do you see why your fans like you?
First of all, because first of all, I believe because I have of the achievements at the same time of how I work hard. Thirdly, because life is not always smooth. So I have dealt with some difficulties whereby Instagram people have witnessed, and they always see how I have overcome it, and they think that's one of the reasons they like me for is my strength. I believe that I'm able to like pass anything, to work toward anything, whatever the storm, whatever the difficulties. I believe that I can like move on from anything. Yeah.
When you were first, I guess 6-7 years ago, what was the original goal? Was it fashion? Was it music? Was it modeling? Like, what was the original? What did you want to be?
So I can say my goal when I was in school, I actually wanted to study so hard and then finish university and then, I don't know, get a job like a regular person and then marry definitely my sweetheart from high school and live happily ever after. But then I had a hobby for singing. Like, I think one of my goals was like, I really want to be a singer. I really want to sing. I really want to be the best and all. But then I finished school. Everything changed. I'm tall. So people kept on approaching me on the road like, you should do this, you should do that. And yeah, and that was my time. My mother was married to my stepdad and they got a divorce. And my stepdad was the one who was paying everything for me. So after I finished school, he wasn't there. So I had to work. I have to like be the caretaker. I had to work. Yeah.
So the modeling was the first thing for you?